DFA Online. News and events from different Philippine embassies and consulates around the world. DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day, I am Win Peñano with today's DFA Online. The Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, says the Philippines will work constructively with China and fellow members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations to advance negotiations for a legally binding code of conduct in the South China Sea. The statement was issued following remarks by Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, who said lasting peace and stability in the South China Sea requires stronger institutional support and urged the Philippines as ASEAN chair this year to play a positive role in maintaining regional stability. In response, the DFA said the Philippines approaches the issue with a clear sense of responsibility to the region and the international community and is committed to credible and steady stewardship of its ASEAN chairship. The department emphasized that the proposed code of conduct must be consistent with the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea and should not diminish the rights and interests of other states. It also called on all countries to exercise self-restraint and avoid actions that could escalate tensions in the region. Negotiations are continuing with discussions focusing on key issues such as whether the agreement will be legally binding, its geographic scope, and its linked to the Declaration of Code of Conduct on the South China Sea.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
In our news, the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, says more Filipinos have been assisted in crossing from Israel into Egypt amid the ongoing security situation in the region. According to the Philippine Embassy in Cairo, Vice Consul Brian Fernandez led a team on March 9 in assisting the fourth batch of Filipinos who crossed through the Taba border crossing. The group consisted of 16 overseas Filipino workers based in Israel. The embassy helped process their immigration documents upon arrival and endorsed them to members of the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration Rapid Response Team for further assistance. The DFA said it will continue providing necessary support to ensure the safety of Filipinos transiting through Egypt's border crossings.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
In related news, the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, has welcomed the arrival of the first batch of 9 overseas Filipinos repatriated from Iran on March 10 and 11. The DFA said the repatriation was facilitated through the joint efforts of the Philippine Embassy in Tehran and the Philippine Embassy in Ankara, which arranged the group's land crossing and onward flight back to the Philippines amid the ongoing security situation in the region. The department, through its Office of the Undersecretary for Migration Affairs and Foreign Service Post, reaffirmed its commitment to the directive of Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to assist Filipinos overseas and ensure their safe return home.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
More news from the Philippine Service Post. The Philippine Embassy in Canada, along with the Department of Trade and Industry, Board of Investments, FASCAN, and the Canada-ASEAN Business Council, held the Philippine Business Roundtable in Montreal on March 5. The event brought together representatives from government, business, academia, and investment institutions to explore new opportunities for trade and investment between the Philippines and Canada. The Philippine delegation was led by Ambassador Jose Victor Chan Gonzaga and Undersecretary Seferino Rodolfo, joined by officials from the DTI, BOI, the Embassy in Ottawa, and the Philippine Trade and Investment Center in Toronto. In his opening remarks, Ambassador Chan Gonzaga highlighted the strong and growing partnership between the two countries, noting that events like this translate shared strengths into tangible collaborations. Undersecretary Rodolfo presented the Philippines' economic outlook, emphasizing its strategic location, skilled workforce, and growing market as advantages for Canadian investors seeking a gateway to Asia.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And that wraps up today's DFA Online. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, I am Win Peñano. Good day.
DFA Online. News and events from different Philippine embassies and consulates around the world. DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.